Welcome, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thursday night, Friday night football edition of Imperial Valley Football. I'm Will Torrez, partner today since day one, Mr. Ron Rubio. Today we have the Calexico Bulldogs traveling north to Warne Field in Wildcat country. Ron.
Yes.
Tell me a couple of things. What do the Calexico Bulldogs have to do today to get going for the season? Look, they had a loss, Central Spartans traveled to Willis Ward Field down there in Calexico, and Central went down there and took care of them, I would say, the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. In that first quarter, that score was a little bit tight. Calexico hung tough. So if you're a Calexico Bulldog, what does Coach Solano have to do, Ron?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that about how the game went. In football, in most any other sports, there's a saying that you want to start fast, accelerate in the middle, and finish strong. Some of the things that didn't happen for the Bulldogs last week, and talking to Coach Solano just right now, terrific guy, good coach. They have the program back. We're getting on track. Solano, let's real quick on Solano, little background on him. The kid played for Cibola High in Yuma. From Cibola High, he went to Arizona Western, played a year there, 2 years there, and went to the University of Laverne. He is a lineman. He has lineman mentality. The reason I'm bringing that story is because that's the toughness that the Bulldogs are now finding. Yeah, they had a rough sled last week against Central, very rough. He was just telling me he didn't expect to win that game, but he expected a better performance than what the Bulldogs gave. That being said, hey, are they ready for the Wildcats, which is another big test? They're 1-1 in league. They need this victory to pull off an upset. They're going to have play a near perfect ball game, Will.
So that, and you do bring up a good point. They traveled to Southwest and they ended up beating Southwest.
They did. They were correct.
And Southwest right now, they might be on the bottom of the list, but every week they're gaining momentum. Now, fortunately for the Southwest Eagles, they're in the lower division, so they will be able to compete at that division where, as we talk about league, it's a little bit different. So the Bulldogs did prove that they belong in this league, which they always have, but they have to keep the momentum going. Now, the interesting thing, Ron, is are the Bulldogs going to come out with that same tempo?
They're going to have to use whatever got them here to this point, Will. I mean, they can't go back, in 1 week, fix things that hurt them 2 weeks ago. So like you said, the win against Southwest was something kind of interesting, but it was a tough fight. It was a tough fight for Southwest. I mean, at halftime it was 13-7. It was a 13-7 ball game for them. It wasn't that easy, and they didn't score until the fourth quarter. So as I said, you want to start fast, accelerate in the middle, finish strong. They finished strong with 12 points in the fourth quarter. So if they keep that mentality up, as we have the captains going out there for the Wildcats, number 13, Ethan Gutierrez, and number 23, Isaiah Young. Anyhow,
for the Bulldogs, we have number 56, and that's Christian Martinez. We also have, I think it's 21, Ron. 21, that's Ernie Sanchez. And I think it should be number 1, their quarterback. That's David Escobar.
Yes, sir.
He's only a junior at 5'6". They were switching around a little bit more.
I saw that.
But now it looks like they settled on the quarterback position. Ron, one thing that is key, Coach John Self. John Self was peaking every week. He was peaking. It started with after the Valley Center game. Mm-hmm. He knows that Valley. He wished he could have that Valley Center back because he really felt that it would be a different. If he got to play him again, it'd be a different story.
Sure.
I mean, and you saw that game. You just
sure
felt that Brawley was kind of sluggish, huh? I'm getting that same feeling from everybody. They were just not there, not sluggish. They just weren't all there. And then after that run, they kept peaking until last week. Now, they did come out with a victory over a tough Imperial team. So let me ask you this, Ron. Was that the Wildcats we saw, or was that just Imperial stepping it up after the prior week with them playing Hopeville and Hopeville actually keeping par with them?
Well, let me tell you something. Back to how the Wildcats got to where they're at 6-2. As you said, that game against Valley Center is what a lot of coaches have trouble with in every division. I mean, every level of football, high school, college, pro. It's called a trap game. I think Brawley got in that trap game against Valley Center. On paper, they were the better team. Just that night, they weren't. So they weren't, they started out 0-2. They're on a six-game winning streak. They're ranked number 7 in D3. They've been rising in the rankings, which is something that we need to talk about. There's only 2 more games left in the season. They need to start getting that parity, and they've gotten there. Like I said, the first two games, modern day, that's out the window. It was a tough game. But as you said, that Valley Center game was something they wish the Wildcats could get back. But you can't look in the rearview mirror. You're not going back there. They just look forward. They put their nose to the grindstone. They're 6-2 right now. And all they're trying to do is keep that momentum going. Why? 2 weeks away, what's happening? The Bell game. And that's going to be basically, if things go as they should, it's going to be for the league title. So right now, this isn't a tune-up game, man. It's just a game, a regular game. They need to get to 3-0, and they need to avoid an upset by the Calexico Bulldogs.
Now, I'm going to go off subject a little bit, but it still has a little bit to do with what's happening tonight. When you say as things are set to go, I think Coach Shaw has something to say about that.
For sure.
Coach Shaw travels. VSN will be tomorrow night. Guys, of course, we're having a Thursday night edition of Friday Night Football. Ron and I, Joaquin Matus, Sarah, Eric, and a couple of new additions. J.J. Galvan is on the field with the camera, and the coach, Jalen Fong. While I'm there, I might as well announce the referees. We do have Gene Martin will be our white hat. Nathan Beacons will be in the middle. John Robb on the flank, and also John Bentley on the other flank. So, Ron, Coach Shaw has got his Imperial Tigers, I would say, in the neutral position. Which Tigers, which team is he going to show up? We know Shaw. Shaw is that wide open, but he was up on Brawley last week, 7-0. And let me tell you something. It could have been 14-0 when that pass was thrown into the end zone. It was intercepted by Camilo. So let's just hypothetically thinking, if that score would have been 14-0, we could be talking a different story right now.
Well, it goes both ways, Will, because that was the beginning of the game. And like I was telling you about the narrative about Calexico and the way to start, middle, and end, same thing held for Brawley. Brawley started off very slow last week against the Tigers. And this is the deal. Brawley had 2 touchdowns called back on him. So you can say that, had Imperial jumped on him. The thing is, Will, you have to take advantage of the opportunities given to you. If you don't, the other team's going to take advantage of that. You have to cash in on turnovers.
All right, we'll be right back. We're going to listen to the national anthem while we're up here. We'll be Well, Ron, like we said, sometimes it takes that national anthem to get going. I'm like that 50-year-old motorcycle that you take out of the garage, you dust it up, you polish it up, and then you got to kickstart it. No electric start, you kickstart it. But listen, we got the national anthem, we got the coin toss going on. Even though it's a Thursday, now I'm ready. We got big games all this week. VSN South has that Vincent Memorial Holtville game. Coach Turner and Coach Wong.
Is that tonight or tomorrow?
No, negative. That's a Friday. That's a tomorrow night. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Victor Carrillo and John Moreno have that game tomorrow. So got some exciting football. We got 3 games on the schedule, 1 tonight and 2 tomorrow for VSN. So, and talk about the weather a little bit while we're talking about some good football. Picture perfect weather, not a breeze in the sky, good temperature. It's about 75 degrees. looking beautiful. The field, Carlos Alcantar Chaca is doing an excellent job. We were walking out on the field today. Just fine cut. It's going to be fast. Isaiah Young. Tell me a little bit about Isaiah Young. You know, he's been injured. He's been hobbling around, but he keeps going in. I mean, I'm not here to say that it's not getting any better, but tell me a little bit about Isaiah Young, Ron.
Well, Isaiah Young, a fine athlete, very good football player. You know, the Wildcats have been resting him up like nagging injury, not sure exactly what the injury is. However, you know, being cautious about what his health. Why? Because the big games are ahead, you know, not tonight. So Isaiah Young's ready to go. The good thing about, you know, it's kind of like a, how would you say, a blessing in disguise. Not saying that it's great that he got hurt, but you got Tanner Carranza come in, helped him and show Coach Young and Coach South, hey, Carranza's not a bad option to go to. So that being said, you know, and another thing that people have to realize, Isaiah Young, he goes both ways. He's a cornerback and a running back. Let me tell you from experience, those are two very hard positions to play in football at any level, and you exert a lot of energy. So we're going to have to see how it plays out tonight, how many carries that Isaiah gets. And, hey, that's the story. That's how it's going to start out. It's how the game developed, how much they're going to use him, if they need to use Isaiah Young. If he's there, hey, let's go play some football.
Coach Solano did mention to me, Ron, right before kickoff, that, of course, a couple of weeks ago, their stud linebacker out, and then COVID got one of his players this week, so they will be a little bit hurt.
I did not know about that. I wonder what kid those were.
Well, what was interesting about that, Ron, he said for us, 1 or 2 players is big.
It's huge,
yes.
Bill. It's huge. And nice to see number 30 out there, and that is for Calexico. D to receive for the Bulldogs. We'll get their numbers right away.
Well, we should see this week no more transferring back and forth. We're going to
short, yes, sir. Short pooch, and it's fumbled by number 7. Number 7 was David Rivera. Tried to catch the pooch off his hands, and it may be Wildcat ball. Referees are looking.
Yes,
it's Wildcat football.
Wildcat football.
This is a start that you wish you could close your eyes and go back if you're the Bulldogs. Benefit for the Wildcats. So the Wildcats are going to take over inside the 40-yard line, let's say the 38 of the Bulldogs.
We have seen that numerous times, Ron, where it's become a very effective kick.
For everyone.
Not just for the Wildcats, you're right, for a lot of other people. So flank officials right on top of that, giving the Wildcats a ball on the 38-yard line. Mr. Binkins getting the ball ready with the threads. However, that number 52 for the Spartan wants him. That's Brian Porras, 230-pound junior.
So here we go, Wildcats. I'm going to say that's an empty set because he's not behind the quarterback. Gutierrez, that's to Brandon Porras. Porras with a quick pass, maybe a gain of 2. So the Wildcats are going to come out firing. As you were talking about that offensive line for the Wildcats, well, we better get the names on these kids.
Number 52, Brian Porras. Like I said, he's a junior at 230. Number 77, Levangelist Pittman. He's a 5'9", 240. Then we got 67, Bernie Bustamontes. He's a senior. On the left side at left tackle, we have Anthony Arriaga. How do you say
Arriaga.
that? Arriaga. He's a senior, 5'10", 222 pounds. And number 71, Jonathan Garcia. He's also that left side full of seniors, Ron.
Julius Diaz, number 55, will get plenty of playing time, as I was told by Ray Van Diver. Here's the give to Young. Young's going to try that, but it's a pull by Ethan Gutierrez, and that's something the Wildcats did well last week versus Imperial. Knocked out by number 6 of the Bulldogs defense, and that is number 6. That goes for Pedro Cruz. Pedro Cruz had a 37-yard pick 6 last week versus Southwest in the fourth quarter. So Pedro Cruz is he's a senior, I'm sorry. So one thing I was talking to Coach Alonzo about is the youth, some of the youth that they have on their defense. You know, they have 4 seniors, 5 juniors, 2 sophomores.
Well, this is where they've tried to go out. You know, this is where I think Brandon Young, I think Calexico wants him on the outside. This is where, like, Brandon Young is very good at going right up the gut and, you know, for a lot of yardage on this. We'll see what the Wildcats bring on this.
We'll give it to Young right up. It must be a psychic. It's right up the middle, and it's going to be a first down from the spot up here. Looks like they're going to give him the first down right up the middle, as Will said. Good enough for a first down for the Wildcats.
Because the Bulldogs look like now they're Wildcats.
They're going tempo.
Yeah.
Let's go tempo.
I kind of like seeing that, Ron. A little changeup. I like it.
Trips to the right for Gutierrez. That's the wide side. Gutierrez is looking right. He throws intended right off the hands of number 17, Robert Platt. And that's a combination that's been working for the Wildcats all year long, Will. They've been getting better and better, it seems like, every time we see them.
One thing, and not just Self, but a couple other coaches that have played that have faced the Bulldogs, they feel that they can attack through the air on these Bulldogs once they set up their running game. And, you know, that's one of the a lot of the programs here, when we look at Ethan Gutierrez, I mean, he's the number 2 leading passer in Imperial Valley with over 500 yards.
And he also rushes pretty well, I heard.
And that's the other thing about him. You know, you get him wide in the open, he's very good at rushing, Ron.
Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Young in the backfield. Gutierrez again looking to his right. Shoots it down to Isaiah Young, and that's a very effective play. That's called a circle route. You circle out of the backfield, posts up, catch and throw, boom.
Well, the thing about that, you got Troy Marin, number 10. I mean, they're right there. That was actually very good coverage on that play, Ron. So it just comes down to these Bulldogs buckling down and hanging on and stopping this Wildcat offense.
For sure. So they have to play, as they said, there's a saying, alignment and assignment. Know where you're going to line up and what do you do after you line up. Wildcats again with the bunch set to the right. They call that bunch because they're in a diamond bunch down to the right of Gutierrez. And that's the pull. I was about to say Isaiah Young, and that was very well. The Wildcats ran that very well last week versus Imperial. Now they're off to a good start. A gain of 5, second down and 5. The ball maybe we're at the 14-yard line, second down and 5.
Now teams are also catching on to that, Ron. They also know that Gutierrez likes to run. Of course, we mentioned earlier, he's the number 2 leading rusher in Imperial Valley, according to stats, which we will have up next week, so we can all get a hold of who's in first right now. But that's one of the things that Gutierrez and the Wildcats love to do is hang on to that ball and head out to the.
The give is to Young. Young tries the right side of the defensive side of the Bulldogs, and guess what? 7-yard gain, first and goal inside, let's say the 7-yard line. No, the referee steps back, say the 8-yard line. So first and goal for the Wildcats. Hey, if you know the Wildcats are going to, just like any offense, you know they're going to tell, we're going to do this, stop us. And that's what a good football team do, you know, especially a running football team. If you get stopped, hey, we have other options. So here we go. Bunt set to the right. And Gutierrez fakes to Young, and Gutierrez walks in. So that's going to be a touchdown run of 8 yards. Hey, you just said it. They know everybody knows it's coming. Stop it. So that's a good sign of a good football team. Wildcats get their first touchdown, first score of the game with 8:08 remaining in the first quarter. Wildcats 6. Now it's time for the PAT.
Ron, and let's talk about Gutierrez a little bit. The knowledge, I mean, look, this kid started, number 3, number 4 game into the season as a freshman. Yeah.
Right. And the kick is up, and it is.
Okay, I think they might have blown the whistle. Is that what they
they
might have blown the whistle prior to the ball being snapped. So, Ron, after this PAT, I'd like to talk about Gutierrez. You've had a chance to talk to him, to see him in practice a little bit. You know, the mental aspect of the part. We know he's got the physical. We know he's got the arm strength. You know, the mental part is what's really kicking it in overdrive this year, especially game after game after game, Ron.
Well, you know, it's the deal is the kid's playing the hardest position you can play in any sport. I don't care what level you're talking about. Call it Warner, high school, college pros. And he handles it well. And as Hotto splits the uprights for a successful PAT, making it 7-0. Back to Gutierrez, well, you know, he just has gotten better every week. I mean, like you said, he started as a freshman, 3rd, 4th game of the year because he had to. And it wasn't that they wanted to, but they had to put him in there.
That's correct. And when you have to go in there, you don't have a choice. You got to perform. You got to go in there and you got to perform. It doesn't matter what the record is. You got to go in there and perform. Now, at this moment right now, I'd like to say Ojeda Industries, your commercial industrial equipment supplier. Proud to be a sponsor of Valley Sports Network. Ojeda Industries was voted Imperial Valley's Press Reader Choice for Best Farming Equipment in 2019. Located in Brawley, Ojeda Industries. And people, let's not forget to log in to valleysportsnet.com. that is our website. You can go on there and you can check every article we have, every video we have, and especially now, of course, it's a Thursday. There's not, I'm almost certain that this is the only Thursday night game going on. And then we'll talk about the rest of the games in the Valley. But, yeah, go there on tomorrow night and check all the scores. Check out both VSN sites as we get ready for this kickoff, Ron.
Jorge Hotto set to kick. And it's going to be another pooch. And now number 7, fair catch, David Rivera. So Rivera with the fair catch. And the Bulldogs will set up on their first drive of the game, we'll say the 27-yard line.
David Escobar, number 1, is their choice of quarterback. He will be starting again. It's about his 3rd start. They won't, I don't know if they'll be switching off or not. The coach didn't really mention that. But listen, this is for them. Look, with 8:08 to go in the second quarter, Ron, this is where the Bulldog pride has to come out. They've got to get yardage on here. They've got to get some positive, anything positive out of this against these Wildcats will be beneficial.
Well, even if you don't score, if you can keep the ball out of Gutierrez in the Wildcats' hand, that's
True.
a plus right there. So Sassueta comes in. Bron Sassueta, they rotate quarterbacks in. So first possession of the game, they're going to start Sassueta. That's number 22. He's a senior who had 2 touchdowns last week versus South Bullhead. He's a pretty big-sized kid. He also plays linebacker.
No, and then he's wearing number 22. That number 22 down there in Calexico is a legend. You talk about people like Mike Torrez and stuff like that from the 80s. So, he's a well-mannered kid. I talked to him before. Good kid. He represents the Calexico Bulldogs well.
Very well. He's a very good football player, that number 22. So here we go. Coming in a little bit late is the tight end number 44. That's number 44 for the Bulldogs. But that's Francisco Ariola. So Sassueta, not too much there. Tackled by a bunch of Wildcats. 67, that's Bernie Bustamante. That's 37 for the Wildcats.
Little confusion back there in the back, especially when you got a guy running in. You're going to get a little confusion in the backfield. And while we got a minute, let's say some of those linemen, those that have been producing for these Wildcats. I got number 67, Bustamante.
Yeah.
You know what? We also have Charlie Lai come in at 20. He's number 21. Ronnie, they utilize his speed and his strength and his quickness to get in there sometimes.
They'll put him at nose guard, and let's see what they could do. Now, number 37 is Brody Enders. Not on the roster we have, but that's Brody Enders. He's the left tackle. A Braun set to throw, and he's being rushed. He's being harassed. He's going to run, pulls it and runs. He's going to be tackled by Robert Platt. Maybe a couple-yard gain up to the 35-yard line. So the pressure was put on by Bernie Bustamante along with Evangelist Pittman and, as I said, Brody Enders. So the Wildcats, not very big other than Bustamante, but they have speed. They have speed on the defensive line. So, the offensive line for the Bulldogs, pretty good offensive line out there for the Bulldogs as they set up for a punt formation by number 6 back there deep to kick for the Bulldogs. That's Pedro Cruz. So Pedro Cruz will punt as a 3-and-out for the Bulldogs. Set to receive will be Daniel Camilo. He'll set up at the 30-yard line. So the Wildcats doing what they want to do with 5:47 remaining. And this is another thing I noticed on film about the Bulldogs. They're always missing a guy on punt team.
Yeah, it's too late in the season to be doing
it shouldn't
that.
be happening then.
Yeah.
I bet you drives Coach Solano crazy. That's a pop-up. It's a pop-up kick. They better field that, and they do. So maybe a net punt of 7 yards on that, man. So this is not the start that Coach Solano, I mean, right now I bet you his insides are burning, but hey, they have to hold here. You can't afford to go down by 2 scores right off the bat, man.
Ron, this conversation can probably go on for a long time, but I want you to touch on this a little bit. With the prominence of freshman players making an impact, we have seen this over the last couple of years, a lot of them. Now, I don't want your answer right now because that answer can be really in-depth. You got a couple here in Brawley, you got some in El Centro, and you got some other kids. That's going to be a good subject, maybe not right now, but it's going to be a good subject to talk about, Ron.
Here we go. They give us to Young. Young up the middle, and a good tackle there by number 26 of the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs are starting to stiffen up a little bit, and that's Andres Castro, one of the linebackers. He's a sophomore. Castro's a sophomore. They also have a Bron Sassueta, who is quarterback number 22. Carlos Hernandez is another linebacker. Hey, the Wildcats aren't letting him breathe. It's a hurry-up tempo. Trips to the left. Single back is Young. Gutierrez looking, throws to Torrez a little bit low. Too low, incomplete. And maybe it's better he dropped it. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, no.
He wasn't going to go anywhere, and once you catch it with your knee down, you're down. So
Ron,
3rd down and 6.
One thing that the Bulldogs are doing is they are holding the Wildcats in check on every out pass like that. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to sustain Gutierrez when he decides to keep it, or Young up the middle. And but that outside pass that the Wildcats have known to take pretty far, they're holding them pretty well.
So it's 3rd down and 6. I'm pretty sure it's 4-down territory for the Wildcats. The give, no, it's a fake. There's Platt again. So there's that combination we talked about earlier, and they strip it. There was a strip. It looked like by number 10 for Calexico. That's Troy Marin. And maybe, just maybe, the Bulldogs are going to get the break they really need at this time. So how does that work, Will? What if it was a tie-up? I mean, who gets the ball? Okay. It looks like it's the Wildcats.
Now, the Wildcats got it now, but you did say something, if it's a tie-up. If it's a tie, of course, the tie goes to the offense.
Okay.
So, but on something like that, where there's a pile-up, Ron, you actually have to pick them apart one at a time, and you got to see who ends up with the ball, because honestly, you really can't see with 4:42 to go, and there's sometimes the pile's so big you can't really see who has the ball on the bottom.
So Wildcats recover the ball. They're inside this 30, let's say the 29-yard line, trips to the right. Fake to Young, slant to Platt. Platt completes it. And Platt's not afraid to go over that middle, knowing he's going to take a shot, took a shot, held on to the ball. First attempt for the Wildcats, let's say the 13-yard line. So 1st and 10, Wildcats are moving. And this is the thing we talked about in the pregame. You want to start fast. Can the Wildcats sustain this?
Well, one thing, I've only seen one bad pass from Gutierrez, and that was that flat pass, that little short. It came up a little bit short. But right now, he is throwing 98 fastballs to all those receivers, Ron.
Bunt set to the right. Single back is Isaiah Young. And here we go with the pull option, and he faked to Young. And let's say Gutierrez is going to find his way, maybe for a 1st down. Tackled by number 6. That looked like Pedro Cruz. So let me tell you something. When the Wildcats are hitting on this kind of offense, when they're running the ball well, your defensive backs need to make some tackles. And there was Pedro Cruz, but not until he gets a 1st down. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 3.
As we see, number 31, Chris Camilo, come into the game. And he's a sophomore this year, but he was, of course,
freshman last in the spring league.
He had some playing time last year. 3:22 to go and clock running. Moreno is a freshman this year, and he's getting some PT this year.
So the Wildcats with the 1st and goal at the 3. The give is to Young. He bounces it to the right, and he's going to go in for a touchdown. So touchdown Wildcats. And with 3:09 remaining, we have the Wildcats 13, Bulldogs 0.
Ron, I didn't like that. I saw Young go in there, and there's a slight little limp. Now, I don't know. It might have just been, but there is a slight little limp. The thing is, we know he's a power runner, but the thing about Young, he's also an intelligent runner. He reads those blocks really good, Ron.
He's a big kid with size. I mean, he's an ideal running back. If you're and here's how Jorge Hotto, does he make it? And that's a miss PAT. So with 3:09 remaining in the 1st quarter, we have the Wildcats 13, Bulldogs 0.
The Dom Team. The Dom Team Real Estate Company serves the entire Imperial Valley with a full array of services, limited not only to residential, but including farmland, commercial, and industrial ground. For your honest and reliable real estate advice, it's the Dom Team. Give them a call at 760-337-8600. Ron, just on the Brawley squad, there's a couple. We're going to keep touching on this freshman thing. The reason I brought that up is because when I saw Platt make that tackle when he was playing defense 2 series ago, he made it with authority. He made that tackle like, hey, I'm not backing down from nobody. Granted, he is a wrestler, and that's a big plus in itself right there. But that kid, and we talked about this earlier, Ron, you're not a freshman. At this point right now, you're not considered a freshman. If you played all these games, Ron, up to this date right now, nah, you're just a regular guy now playing, starting, lucky enough to be able to play football.
That's how it works. Deep to receive, and will they get it? fair catch by number 7. That is David Rivera. So each kickoff, there's been 3 kickoffs, 3 right at Rivera. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 25-yard line. And, you know, you're talking about freshmen starting. There's number 63 on Andrew Gomez. 4, he's a guard, and he's out there starting. He's a freshman. So Coach Solano was talking to Coach Solano before the game. He was saying, hey, Ron, we have a lot of young kids, and they sure do. On offense, they have six seniors, 4 juniors, 1 freshman. So here we go. They have back in there at quarterback is David Esquer. Give to number 19, and that is Andrew Rivera. Nothing doing on that jet sweep action. Wildcats gobble it up.
That's Charlie Lyon, number 21, getting in that backfield, Ron. Just, I mean, when you lose
5 yards.
5 yards on that run on your first play with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, you know, it's still early, but Calexico has not crossed the 40-yard line on their side right there.
And I'm wondering if they even have a first down in the first quarter with 2:41 remaining. Plenty of time to get back into this ballgame, but they need to get some kind of momentum on offense, get some rhythm going, get some confidence built in there on the team right now. Motion by number 30, and Esquer's looking, Esquer, little toss, and it's a pick. A little bit overthrown. That is number 25. That is Moreno. Moreno, talking about freshman. Moreno drops to his zone. Overthrown pass. Hey, guess what? Not his problem. He's going to pick it. Takes it all the way, maybe. They're going to mark it at the 5-yard line? No, they're going to mark it at the 1. 1 more yard, it would have been a pick 6.
And to tell you the truth, man, I'll tell you who's real happy, besides the whole Moreno family, but Blake Lazani is really happy. You know, Blake, we wish you the best of luck down there in Utah, playing a little baseball, man.
Utah State.
Yeah, he's the one that texts us. We go, who is this kid playing? And that's where we got Moreno's number. We were just talking about those freshmen that were stepping up.
There
now.
it is.
And there you go.
So the Wildcats will have a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. This is not the start Calexico wanted. Motion by Camilo to give us to Young. Young's going to walk in untouched. So that is going to put the Wildcats at 19-0 with 2:16 remaining.
And VSN will be right back for the kickoff for the Wildcats after our message from our sponsors.
Back to the 25, 35, cuts to the right, 40, 45. And he's going to make it all the way up to the 49-yard line. So
Welcome back, everyone. Ron, with the score 20-0 and still 2:16 to go in the first quarter, the Wildcats are doing everything according to game plan. Their kicking game, their special teams is good, except for that missed PAT. But these little pooch kicks, I mean, I'm curious to see what Coach calls next on this, Ron.
It's going to be another pooch, and that's Hotto, and that's number 7 again, Rivera. So that's been, hey, another start at the 25-yard line. So, like I said, right now with 2:16 remaining, if the Bulldogs can get a drive going, they need to do it now. They can't, hey, there's no tomorrow right now, man. You put yourself in a hole by 3 touchdowns. You've got to get something going. As I said, not a score. Just keep the ball out of the Wildcats' hands because they're cashing in on everything you're giving them.
And while we got a minute real quick, I'd like to talk about some of the other games that are going to go on tomorrow night. VSN will be covering their Imperial Tigers. David Shaw, Coach David Shaw, travels to Central for a 7 p.m. kickoff. Ron and I will be there tomorrow, as will Vincent Memorial at Hopeville. Vic Carrillo and John Moreno will be making the call at 7 p.m. out of Hopeville.
Fake to Sanchez, and Esquer keeps the ball for a loss of 2 yards. So now we're looking down a second down and 12 for the Bulldogs.
And for other games, which is going to be, it's always a tough when you got to travel to Palo Verde. And Southwest, Coach Haynes will be traveling to Palo Verde, and they will be crossing the desert at 7 p.m. kickoff. And then we have a game that we covered. Coach Matt Self will be traveling up a hill for a chilly night at Mount Empire. And once again, that's a 7 p.m. kickoff. Those are tomorrow's games, Ron.
Sanchez up the middle. Sanchez with a good gain there. Gets maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. And yes, they're going to put him at. So the Bulldogs got back to the 25. It's going to be a 3rd down and 10. Now, what does Coach Solano have in his pocket for this 3rd and 10?
Well, Coach Solano, he's got it, like we said, they haven't crossed that 40-yard line yet. So, of course, he is facing a tough Wildcat team, and Coach Solano, missing a couple of key players. And like we said earlier, when you're missing a key players, when your squad's already small, it really hurts, Ron.
I'm wondering where those players are at, what positions they are. But, however, we have Abran Sasueta at quarterback. As we said, they'll rotate Sasueta and Isquera in there. It's scary. Sasueta's looking, and he's not going to find anywhere to go. La'ai, you have La'ai on the sack. There's 2 more bodies on there. Let's see who else. You have Platt on there. Let's see who else is getting. You have Brody Ender. So a 3-man sack. We're going to give it to Ender, Bustamante, and Platt. 4th down and 7.
Well, if you're John Self and the defensive genius that he is, he's calling a perfect game today. And his Wildcats, with 17 seconds to go, are doing exactly what he wants them to do right now.
So here we go. Punt formation for the Bulldogs. Set to kick is number 10 for the Bulldogs, and that's Troy Marin. Marin standing at his 5-yard line. Daniel Camilo at his 50. And
Gene Martin, the head referee, will stop it, and they will switch sides so that Calexico will be able to kick it back. So when we come back from this break, Calexico will be in punt formation on a 4th down. Will Torrez, Ron Rubio will be right back after this.
It's just the mentality of a program. And as soon as we got the clearance, as far as getting to the gym, we've been there all summer. The kids have done a really good job of coming in, working really hard. And that's going to continue throughout the school year. It's not going to be something we're going to just work on in the summertime. It's going to be something that as soon as school starts on the 23rd, they'll be in the weight room again.
And they're working on bigger, faster, stronger kind of programs?
Right. We're using a program. It's an off-season program, and we're going to translate to an in-season program, but that we're doing.
And we thank Coach Solano for those nice words he had during our media day. And you know what, Coach Solano, I'm going to say it's his first year, Ron. Last year, he did start last year. It was that COVID year. He lives in Yuma, of course, but he works in Calexico High School, so it was a very hard travel for him to make.
they have a new punter in there, look like number 80. Fair catch by Camilo. And that was punter number Jonathan Pacheco. Pacheco's a sophomore. So the Wildcats, great field position. They're going to start at the Bulldog, let's say 42-yard line.
So while we have a minute here, I'd like to thank some of our sponsors. Burgers and Beer, located on Imperial Avenue in El Centro. For the best burgers in town, visit Burgers and Beer. IV Welding and Mechanical. Our undersheriff, Fred Miramontes, representing Imperial County. For your insurance needs, make sure you call Marianne Valenzuela, State Farm Insurance. Nava Commercial and Real Estate Industry. That's George Nava and Roseanne for commercial real estate needs. And Ron, back to Ron with his play-by-play.
Wildcats will start up, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of the Bulldogs. Gutierrez set to throw, and it's batted up, batted down, and now, Will, is that illegal?
No.
I mean, the quarterback can catch it.
He can catch it if it was touched by another defensive player first, which is actually a very good question, which it was tipped. by a defensive player, and he was able to catch it. But the thing is, Ron, look, I think Gutierrez is the only one that saw the ball up in the air, but if he would have batted it down, what would have happened, Ron?
What is it?
They would have got the ball back where the line of scrimmage was. It would have been an incomplete pass. Instead, they're getting the ball where it's at. You know where I'm coming from?
Look at that. It's a loss of, I'm going to say, at least 12 yards.
Yeah, so he should have just dropped that ball.
But, you know, when you're instinctive like that, man, you don't think that. I think, hey, maybe I catch it, I can go. Gutierrez again. He's looking, and he's wide open. That's going to be Washington. Washington at the 10-5, touchdown. Hey, it didn't matter where they start from. Nice pitch and catch, touchdown, Mekhi Washington. And now these are the things that are happening. I want to talk about the weapons that he's using. He's utilizing more than just one player. There's Platt, there's Washington, there's Camilo, and then all of a sudden, there's Tweety Corrales, number 24.
Ron,
I mean, it's just this is the kind of things you want as, you know, an offensive coordinator. Brandon Young, you want to find more than one guy that could help you put the ball in the end zone as Jorge Hotto sets the kick. And Jorge Hotto is successful this time with 11:04 remaining. We have the Brawley Wildcats 27, Calexico Bulldogs 0.
Ron, and you make a very good point when you say that. In other words, Gutierrez, Brandon Young, Coach Self, they're spreading the love all over the field. You know, and that's one thing they're showing, not just the Calexico Bulldogs, but the rest of the Imperial Valley, that, listen, we got plenty of weapons we can attack from. We're not just going to focus on our strong running game, which Brawley has always been known to do. We're also going to focus on our outside passing game, which is something that they've been working on this last couple of years. You know, because if you think of Brawley with that run offense that they've been known for, Ron, I know you're a running back fan, a big old running back fan, but the systems have changed where they're allowing, the rules are allowing the quarterback. In fact, they're bringing more actions to the fan is what they're actually doing. So with that said, Brandon Self, Well,
there is a Brandon Self.
I'm sorry. Brandon Young and Coach John Self are doing exactly what they want to do, is sharing the love out there with that pigskin out there.
So here we go. Jorge Hotto set to kick again, and a little pooch. This time a little bit too strong. That's going to go over. So that is a offsides. Technically, that's called. What's that called, Will? Offsides, or what? When a kick it goes out of bounds. What's the technical term for it?
A penalty. Because
other than that.
So look, they're going to place the ball. So Calexico will have a choice. They'll either mark them back, place the ball on the 35-yard line, mark it back 5 yards, or take the ball where it went out of bounds. So those are the three choices you get, and they chose to get the ball on the 35-yard line. You mean, and I know what you're saying. The correct term, is it illegal?
Yeah,
I really don't know what it is. It's
and we should know.
And we should know. Well,
I bet you Alan Phillips is going to text you right now. Come on, Alan. Let us know what we're talking about.
Alan Phillips has been really good to us.
Sure has, man. And I hope he's getting well. Hope that knee's getting better.
Yeah, we'd hate to see somebody not come back after 35 years plus of refereeing, but he'll definitely be back.
I'm wondering why it's at the 40-yard line.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is the 40 then. Yeah.
Okay, so first thing, this is the best field position for the Bulldogs. They give it to Sanchez. Sanchez up the middle, tries something, gets a couple of yards, and that's positive. On the tackle, Bernie Bustamante, defensive tackle.
And look, I mean, is Coach Solano saying, hey, guys, you know what? Let's just go right up the gut on them, man. You know, quit trying to run around in the outfield. Let's just attack the heart of the Wildcats right up the middle. Let's see what the heck happens. You know, get a couple of yards and then try to go outside. I don't know what Coach Solano's thinking right now.
Well, you know, your offense is built to be, you know, you want to use the perimeter. They have the jet sweep. They have option, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout by the Bulldogs. So with 10:28 remaining in the second quarter, we have the Brawley Wildcats 27, Calexico Bulldogs 0.
With 10:28 to go, we have is that a Calexico Bulldog timeout run?
Sure is.
Okay. I'm not going to say I'm not too surprised, but right now the Wildcats run, they're clicking on all cylinders. I mean, it was a very good point we talked about earlier where you said that they were utilizing every weapon that the Wildcats has. I mean, Mekhi Washington, the last couple of games, I seen his father after a game, and I go, congratulations, and he kind of looked at me, And I go, you know what? He's been stepping up. But when you have a team that has a lot of young talent, which is in the same grade as McKine, you got to step up your game. You know that, Ron.
Well, the benefit that Brawley has with this junior class is they've been together since youth football.
Yeah.
And that's something that Coach Solano wishes he had in Calexico, and he's trying to build that. I was talking to him earlier, and he said, Ron, last year I didn't even have enough 8th graders to hold a meeting. So, you're reaping the benefits. Here goes Sanchez. Sanchez, nice little cutback at the 50. He's at the 45, 40, 30, 20, cuts back at the 20 and finds his way to the 15. Good, solid run by number 21, and that's Ernie Sanchez. Ernie Sanchez, beautiful run, man.
And good for the Bulldogs,
They needed that shot in the arm, so they're going to have it at the 16-yard line. Let's see if that boosts the confidence of the Bulldogs. 10:08 remaining. Here's a chance to get back in the ball game. Let me tell you something. It's not over till it's over, Will. And we saw that last week in Del Valle Centro. The give is, no, it's not. Oh,
man.
That was Carranza, Tanner Carranza. Tanner Carranza with the tackle knocks the ball out of Sasueta's hand. And, man, look at that. So that's the whole thing. You take one step forward, 2 steps back, as they say.
Yeah, after a beautiful play, because, look, you get Sanchez, and tell you the truth, Sanchez, when he reversed field, all those yardage gains was all his doing right there. But, you just got to buckle down, gotta keep that straight path, especially after a big old yard, because they're almost putting themselves right back where they started from, Ron.
So that fumble all the way back to the Wildcat 37-yard line. Second down and forever. Here we go. Sasueta's looking, screen pass to number 3, and that's the play they like to do. That's Andres Ramirez with the catch. Gain of a couple of yards up to the 30-yard line. They're going to be looking at a third down and 23.
And that was Chris Camilo, number 31, and Platt in on the tackle. 2 young defensive players waiting in perfect position to get anything like that screen pass they just had right now, Ron.
So we're third down at the 30-yard line. What can they do? I'm pretty sure they're not going to punt, but here we go. Sasueta is the quarterback. Single back is Sanchez, motion by number 30. Sasueta looking down the middle. He throws it in the corner. Ain't intended for number 3. That was intended for Ramirez. A little bit overthrown. 4th down for the Bulldogs.
Well, Ron, I don't think that one punt didn't go but 7 yards. The second one went 25 plus. I think the Bulldogs are in that position right now where, hey guys, let's just go for it. Well, let's see what Coach Solano calls, but it looks like they're going to line up to, try a play and attempt. And it's going to be long because, to be honest with you, they got 23 yards for a first down.
It looks like a third down and 4th and 25. So what you want to do is just get some of it back, put the Wildcats back. So Sasueta's looking again. Sasueta's going to aim to the left of the field. He's open. He's open, and nice attempt again for Ramirez. Ramirez, hey, man, it was a jump ball. Didn't come down with it.
Well, it's actually equivalent to a punt, to be honest with you. If the Wildcats would have intercepted, they would have got the ball on the 20. Would have been just as good as the punt. Might as well go for it. I thought that's a great call.
That's a great call. Great call in the end zone. Same play they ran just to the opposite side. So, and again, intended for Ramirez, who went up for it very, very well.
So the Bulldogs showing that they do have some athletes on here.
Ramirez is a junior. So like I said, on offense, they have some youth coming back. They have 6 starting. Last time I counted, they had 6 seniors on the offensive side of the ball. So here we go. Young up the middle. Young is going to run to the 50. Sheds a tackler up to the 40 inside the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs. So that looked like the Isaiah Young, a little bit fresh on his run.
Yeah, that looked like the intelligent power runner that Isaiah Young is.
So the Wildcats have a 1st and 10 inside Bulldog territory at the 37-yard line. 7:50 remaining and ticking. It's a 27-0 ball game at this point.
And Ethan Gutierrez just being a field general out there, you know, passing that ball, handing it off, doing whatever. We got is that Carranza in the backfield? Yes, it is.
Carranza, Tanner Carranza's in now in the backfield. Trips to the right. Fake to Carranza. Gutierrez looking, running. He throws. Intended for Camilo. Out of bounds. Throws the ball out of bounds.
I think Ethan has enough time to be able to pick which receiver he hasn't thrown to, Ron, where he's back there so long.
He has
Ron.
plenty of time, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing for the Wildcats. You know, as we said, in this kind of game, yeah, you're up 27 points. You don't let up. You still play your game. You still have to pass block. You have to run block. Great pass protection for the Wildcats.
Well, it's just good to see that. Well, that's the other thing about having a veteran quarterback like that. He knows exactly where every receiver's at, Ron, so he knows where to check off on the first one, the second one, and if he has to go to the check-off safety valve, he can always do that.
2nd down and 10. The fake to Carranza. Quick throw to Porras and just overshoots. Just overshoots Brandon Porras, intended for Porras. Porras is another freshman, Will.
Hey, and Ron, Torrez split the seam right there. He was open.
Wide open. That's something that Gutierrez, you know, wish he had that throwback.
Yeah, and it's one of those timing things, because all it needed was a little bit of air for Porras to get underneath it, and he was gone, Ron. There was nobody in front of him.
Nobody there, so the Wildcats trying to hit what they can, taking what they're giving them at this point, 7:10 remaining in the second quarter.
Hey, Ron, do you think inside that huddle those receivers are going,
I'm
open.
All the receivers, every receiver's open, man. Every single receiver's open.
Who hasn't done that, right, Ron?
They'll give us to Young. Young tries the right side. Young finds a lot of big hole up the middle, to the right side. And he's going to be short maybe by 2 yards. Call it a 4th down and 2.
Well, look, John Self, he's been known for this, but look, if the score was 0-0, I could almost still bet that he would go for it on 4th and 3, whatever it is. He's just that type of guy. He doesn't like to give the rock up, man.
Well, you're inside your opponent's 30-yard at the 30-yard line. You have to go for it. 6:43 remaining. Bunt set to the left. Young in the backfield. We give us to Young. Young off the left side. Young's going to pull forward all the way inside the 20, let's say the 17-yard line. And Young getting up.
And we talk about Young, how he's very good at reading the blocks. But right there on that run right there, Ron, after he was first touched by a Calexico Bulldog defensive player, he still got another 4 yards after that.
Gets a lot of yards after contact. That's the strength that he has. And if you've seen Isaiah Young outside of his uniform with just shorts on, he's a built kid. The kid. And here is a pass to Porras, touchdown. And that time he didn't miss. So where Ethan Gutierrez missed, came back to it, touchdown, Brandon Porras.
Yeah, and that was just, he probably, after that first one he threw to Porras and he missed him, he goes, you know what, I got that pass.
You know what he said? He told the guy running, tell Coach Brandon, run that thing again. I guarantee he said that. Tell him to run it again. He got it. 6:08 remaining second quarter, 33-0 Wildcats. Hotto set to kick. The hold is by Gutierrez. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 6:08 remaining, we have the Brawley Wildcats 34, Calexico Bulldogs 0.
Imperial Irrigation District reminds you that Dippy Duck is the official safety mascot, has been teaching children water safety for more than 50 years. Recognizing the need to further educate youth in the Valley, he recently took on the challenge of promoting energy safety as well. So remember, please, stay safe around all canals.
So Dippy Duck is into energy saving too now? Or is that part of the program? Listen, I like that, and that's pretty cool.
Well, to be honest with you, Ron, they're going to get as much words as they can on that commercial. So if they want to throw in that energy, they'll throw in that energy.
It's a good thing to throw at the youth, man. Dippy Doug was a very, I'm going to say he was a hero of mine, but I couldn't wait for that badge, man. Couldn't wait for the badge, pen, maybe a coloring book.
Hey.
And you did learn about the dangers of canals. I know I did, man. The thing that scared me the most is when they put cement in canals. What's the?
Yeah, you can't get out.
Yeah, you can't get out. No, that and all. You know, the rebar that comes out of cement that they dump in there as well, man.
Yeah. Well, they don't allow them to do that anymore, but still. And here we go with the kickoff run. And
here we go, another. Well.
Whoa,
now that's,
whoa. No. That no.
So what happened there?
So what he did was he caught the ball. No, he caught the ball, and then he called for a fair catch. I mean, that's a live ball. You can't. First of all, I believe that should have been a fair catch, illegal fair catch signal. But, you know, that's my opinion.
So he caught it and then fair caught it.
And then he fair caught it. But
well, either way, they start at the 27-yard line with 6:08 remaining. They're down 34-0. Now, as a team, what do you think you have to do right now, Will, for the Bulldogs?
You know what? I'd go right up the middle again, Ron. With the score 34-0, like you said 6 minutes ago, I'd go right up now.
And Ernie Sanchez listening to you, and he's going to be brought down by. I want to see the kid getting up there. That's Bernie Bustamante. Bernie Bustamante, man. Bernie Bustamante, you say his name quite a bit. And number 32, Mario Casares is back in there. So Casares is rotating in. The backers for the Brawley Wildcats, you have number 32, Mario Casares. You have number 31, Chris Camilo. And now you're rotating in a freshman, number 25, Moreno. So you have three good young linebackers. Hey, they still have a future there with them.
And what number did you say Casares is?
32. We have a flag on the play. Esquerra throws it, intended for Ramirez again. And Ramirez got some springs on him, man. Number 3, intended for Ramirez. Incomplete pass. Going to bring up what the penalty. I didn't see what Mr. Martin said. Holding?
We have illegal shift against the Calexico Bulldogs. Well, look, Calexico not scared to air it up, Ron.
Well, you know what? I'm glad to see number 30 of the Bulldogs and Zeus Prades. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Zeus, during warm-ups, ran into the punt returner during warm-ups, and I really thought his knee, he was down on the ground. He looked like his knee was hurting him. I said, what a way to get out of a ball game during pregame. So I'm glad Zeus is feeling well. He was a motion back. That's number 30. So, Coach Solano, I'm glad to see number 30 in there. So with a timeout by the Bulldogs.
Timeout was by the Bulldogs.
So 5:22 remaining in the second quarter. We have the Brawley Wildcats 34, Calexico Bulldogs 0.
So if you haven't got a chance, Billy Brewer has set up something down here. He's got 3 taco trucks. And those taco trucks, let me tell you, Ron, they are something. I mean, they are, first of all, they're delicious. I think one's out of Calapan and 2 out of from Brawley.
I've never tried either one. I'm too busy. And it's a shame they can't stay open until we get down.
Ron, tell us a little bit about, you had a game last night on a Wednesday, considering the varsity games on Thursday. How did the Brawley Calexico JV game go?
The Brawley JV game, the final score was Wildcats 21, Calexico Bulldogs 0. But like I was telling Coach Solano earlier, that JV football team of Calexico, they're on the rise. I was very, honest to God, even though they were our competition last night, I was very happy and proud to see how that program's coming up, because you have to start at the lower levels. And those kids fought hard, man. It was 13-0 at halftime. And let me tell you, if they keep on this path, in 1 or 2 years, the Bulldogs are going to be competitive in this league. So here we go with 5:22 remaining. Motion by Zeus. Roll out by Esquerra. Esquerra's looking for 30, and he's wide open. He's open. Good pitch and catch by the Bulldogs. And like I said, that's Zeus Prades.
So, Ron, to get back to that JV score, you talking about the Calexico Bulldogs, there has to be a starting point. And in your opinion, do you believe that Coach Solano believes that freshman, are they playing the frosh off, or is it a true sophomore?
I think it's a true JV team from what I know.
It's a true JV team?
So,
there has to be a start. Now, you see an athletic team, and you're saying it's 14-0 at halftime, so good,
yeah, It was good. And like I had told Coach, in the past, it was already like 28-0 by halftime. So here we go. That's number 19, and well played by the Wildcats. That's Tanner Carranza, and Tweety Corral is on the tackle. The run was by number 19, Andrew Rivera, on the jet sweep. And that's what the Bulldogs want to do. They want to use that perimeter. That's what their offense is built on, jet sweep, option, and, bang Sanchez up the middle. See what you could do? Loss of yardage on that play.
They just need a little – I mean, we're seeing flashes of some good plays. We're seeing a little bit of outside plays where they get, a first down. I think they got 2 first downs in the game, if not 3. But you're seeing flashes, but they just have to be more consistent.
The thing is, you have to string good plays one after another, not just one good play here and 3 negative in a row. So here we go, Sanchez trying the right side, nothing doing. Yeah, Brody Enders, Bernie Bustamante, and Mario Casares on the tackle. And that's the thing about the defense right now about the Wildcats. It's gang tackling. That's the term. That means more than one guy getting in on it. It's not just one kid getting a hat on him, getting several hats on there. That's been the norm for the Wildcats today with 3:38 remaining.
So I'm really it's a little bit curious, but I do want to see a little bit, which we might be able to see a little bit of Moreno playing the linebacker position. Of course, is there some other freshman that Brawley is considering? It's on the team right now that they get some PTM run?
Well, there was Matthew Gutierrez, but Gutierrez had he hurt his elbow, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's
and
correct.
He's out.
Yeah.
He's out. So Gutierrez is out. They give this to Zeus. Zeus, I love saying that name, Zeus Prades or Pradas, and there's nowhere to go. Again, let me tell you who's there. You got Camilo. That's Chris. You have Bustamante. You had Casares. I can tell you the Wildcats are getting in, and that's going to be a 4th down and 15-4. The Bulldogs with 2:47 remaining in pump formation again.
It's good to see those big linemen in the backfield like that. And they're just and let me tell you, number 74, Anthony Arriaga.
Yes, sir.
Was just disappointed he didn't get a grasp on him.
Everybody wants in on it. So set to kick is Jonathan Pacheco. Set to receive is Daniel Camilo. He's standing at his 40-yard line. The kick is up. It's a short punt again. Calexico bounce, a good Calexico bounce. It's going to roll maybe all the way to the 36-yard line. So the Wildcats still great field position at the 36-yard line, Will, with 2:16 remaining.
Ron, if any of your track athletes or softball players or baseball players received the letter and they're still in school this year, make sure that you give Dan a call to get your varsity jacket started. Contact Dan at 760-693-5034. And remember, ask for Dan to get that Letterman's jacket. We're starting to get in that weather, Ron, where it's that time to start take out that Letterman's jacket.
I have a client already on my mind right now. I could throw that name out.
Hey, so, Ron, did Brawley go to some black Brawley Letterman's jacket, or are they always still all blue?
I don't know, and if they are black, that's a no
choice?
vote on me, I guess, yeah.
I kind of like it. I got to be honest with you. It's like in 2004, they came out with the black jerseys.
Yes, and I know who started that. So here we go. I do remember that night. Here we go. Gutierrez looking. He's looking for Platt. Platt down the middle. Platt with the catch. And Platt breaks a tackle, and he works his way up to the 25. I saw that developing. He looked right at Platt. Platt would – I'm telling you, Platt has no fear going over the middle, man. He has no conscience of getting hit. So the Wildcats with a good, as we say, pitch and catch all the way up to the Bulldog 35. Tempo.
2 minutes to go till halftime.
Trips to the left. Young in the backfield. Gutierrez again looking at that trip set. He's going to step up. He has plenty of room. Everybody's vacated. 30, 25, jogs his way to the 20, and just walks out at the 19-yard line. So the Wildcats now with 1:46 remaining. Hey, situational football.
Yeah.
2 minutes before half. How many timeouts do the Wildcats have?
3.
All 3. If they're in this situation against the Spartans, who is their next opponent, this is what you want to do.
That's true, because the Wildcats go into a bye. Now, I do want to emphasize this. John Self himself has told us this. Look, he doesn't do this to score more points on the scoreboard. He does this to, like Coach Ron just said right now, situation plays right now.
That's true, and here we go, trips to the right. And the Bulldogs have to be ready for it. I mean, football, you can't surrender on either side. So here we go. Young being blitzed by number 52 of the Bulldogs. He finds his way. And he's going to go all the way to the 10. 5, cuts back, fumbles the ball. And don't tell me he recovered it. Are you kidding me? The ball is bouncing every right way for the Wildcats. So Gutierrez runs in from 20 yards, scrambles for 20 yards, fumbles going into the end zone. When it's going your way, man, it's going your way. With 1:35 remaining in the second quarter,
now, Ron,
we have the Wildcats 40, Bulldogs 0.
There used to be a rule that where you fumble, you can't advance your own fumble and recover it. So
Was he in the end zone?
No,
or
he
does
wasn't.
that rule
No.
still exist?
No, I don't know if that rule still exists, but I do remember that you used to be able to fumble and you couldn't advance the fumble. The ball would come back. Now, obviously, it's not. You got Gene Martin there making the call.
So if you fumbled the ball, you couldn't be the guy recovering it?
No, you can recover it, but it goes back to where you fumbled it.
Oh, I hear you.
So, and of course, I've been out a couple years, so I'm sure that Gene's got that part right.
They do, and here's Jorge Hotto down the middle. So 1:35 remaining in the second quarter. We have the Brawley Wildcats 41, Calexico Bulldogs 0.
And, I mean, with the score of 41-0, Bulldogs showing a couple of flashes, but very little flashes. They
Not
just
enough.
they need to come out a little bit more. They need to come out a little bit more and just make more than one play every series, you know, and you know that, Ron.
Yeah, that's how football goes, man. You have to string together, consecutive plays. You got to get drives going, and right now you're in the hole, 41 points, and right now, Coach Solano just speaking to the guy. He just wants to get his team out of here
healthy,
man.
Yeah.
But also, you're not throwing up the white flag, but you want to start. Hey, man, we've got to build for next week. They have Imperial next week, I believe. They have Imperial next week.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have Vincent Moore. But league is league, man.
Yeah.
They're 1-1 right now. You got to look at it. At this point, they're 1-2 if the ball game ends right now. They're 1-2. They got to come back next week and break even and go 2-2.
Yeah.
So you have to fix something right now, man. A deep kick, something I haven't seen. That's number 19 for the Bulldogs. Good cutback, good return. Good play by Andrew Rivera. Andrew Rivera is a sophomore. That's one of the young kids. 5'11", 155, good return. Let's say up to their own 28-yard line.
Havens Landscaping and Trucking, located at 603 East Main Street in El Centro, specializing in gravel, rock, and stone. For all your landscaping materials and needs, it's Havens Landscaping. Let us know what you need for your next project. Give them a call at 760-352-6735. That's Havens Landscaping, proud supporter of Valley Sports Network.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. They'll give us to Sanchez. Sanchez off the left side. Sanchez is going to break it to the 40. He's at the 50, being chased by Carranza and Corrales, and he's going to find his way to the Wildcat 25-yard line. And that's going to be a tackle out of bounds. No need for that.
So add on 15 to that, but that's what we're seeing out of these Bulldogs. With 1:19 to go, the Bulldogs have one timeout. We're seeing some flashes where the Bulldogs they're putting it together, but not 100%. And I don't mean their effort, Ron. I'm not talking about their effort.
It's execution you're talking about.
Good point. That's the exact word I was looking for, the execution. They just have to be a little bit – they have to execute all those plays. Like, we see all these programs, and they go, hey, guys, it's one play at a time. It's one block at a time.
True.
It's one cutback at a time.
True.
That's all we do. We worry about this, and then we go on after that.
And you put it together. So here we go. So now with the penalty added on, the Bulldogs, their best scoring opportunity of the night, they're at the Wildcat 12-yard line, 1st and 10 with 1:19 remaining. So now the Bulldogs, they have to hurry up a little bit. How many timeouts? They have one timeout left.
One timeout.
He's scared, looking to his right. He's rolling. He throws. It's going to be a touchdown. Nice play. Nice play. Andrew Rivera, as I said, he had a great return. He started the drive with a good return. And now he's scared with a great roll to the right. Roll out pass to the right. Touchdown Bulldogs. 1:12 remaining. Wildcats 41, Bulldogs 6. So there it is, Will.
And Ron,
and like you just said, man, one big play, execution, here we go.
And that's what we're seeing out of the Bulldogs now, which we didn't see in the first, with 1:12 to go in the first two quarters, Ron, is that execution where it's one play at a time. Look, Solano just wants to play as a unit right now.
Set to kick. And that was number 99 of the Bulldogs, Lorenzo Rodriguez. Lorenzo, 6'2", 330, knocks that ball right down the middle. So with 1:12 remaining, we have the Brawley Wildcats 41, Calexico Bulldogs 7. So good show for the Bulldogs.
And look, with 1:12 to go, 3 timeouts to go, Coach Self still has
They're
that
going to try to
light.
get that touchdown back.
They're going to try to get that touchdown back, all right. He's not too happy to see them.
No, you're not. You're not. What was it, a two-play drive maybe?
Yeah. So the last thing he wants to do is relax his defense. That's the last thing he wants to do. He wants to play not only up-tempo on his offense, he wants to play up-tempo on his defense too. And while we got a minute here, I'd like to say a thank you to J.J. Galvan. J.J. Galvan has joined us today. Him, Eric Swain, and Nana Swain. And let's not forget Jalen Fong down there on the sidelines, everybody. So, you know, you're getting those great shots from the sidelines. You're also getting our 90-second commercials. Our 90-second things that we feature, our videos that we feature on Facebook and Instagram. So make sure you follow us at VSN Sports Net.
I'm going to ask Jalen Fong if I could borrow $10 off him tonight, see if I get a couple of tacos at halftime. I'm sure he has it. If his dad gave him his allowance. He's not going to like that.
One of the good guys.
Yeah, he's a great kid, man,
Yeah.
Jalen Fong. So here's the kick. Is it going to go out of bounds? No, Camilo tries to field it, and the Wildcats just fall on it. So that's something that not going to get a thumbs up by Coach Self, and it shouldn't. So the Wildcats will take over at their 8-yard line with 109 remaining, 92 yards away. What do the Wildcats do, Will?
Well, I'll tell you what you don't do. You don't relax,
No,
Ron.
no,
That's
you
one
don't.
thing
You
you
don't,
don't do is you don't relax. As we have Billy Brewer up here visiting.
On
make
deck,
sure,
on deck, on
yeah,
deck.
he's making sure everybody's straight as the arrow down here.
So the Wildcats are at their 8-yard line, make it the 9-yard line. They have 91 yards to go, 109 remaining. Do you practice? Do you try to mount a 91-yard drive? We'll have to wait and see. So the Wildcats are coming out. Looks like the trips to the left for the Wildcats. Lone receiver to the right will be Makai Washington. Single back is Isaiah Young. Bulldogs have to be on their toes, man. And here we go. It is going to be a pass. That's Young in the flats. Young's going to be tackled. Good play by number 10 of the Bulldogs. That's Troy Marin. So now we're having a little bit of something that's not needed. Don't know who it was. A little bit of tangle.
Well,
Getting chippy there. Chippy for no reason. 59 seconds remaining.
You're
Now, if
get-
it's against the Wildcats,
I don't know what that play is going to be. You had Daniel Camilo, number 6 for the Wildcats, and you had, or is it
Boras, number 4 looked like Boras was involved
number
there.
6 for Calexico.
Keep
I'm
calm.
sorry.
You have nothing to be upset about, especially with the Wildcats. You're up by what?
Yeah.
34 points. It's just line up, and here we go. We have an unsportsmanlike against the Bulldogs. So, hey, Boras was innocent, not the Bulldogs. So they're going to mark it off 15 yards, Will?
Yeah, 15 yards. A little. I don't actually blame them for that because, look, last thing you want to do is let this game get out of hand, Ron. And, look, I'll tell you what, nobody can afford to get a kid kicked out of a game
True,
because you actually
true.
lose game. But the Wildcats, even though they have a bye, correct me if I'm wrong, Billy, but does the bye count next week? Let's just say there's an ejection. It doesn't count. You have to wait till the next game. See, so
Yeah,
that would be the bell game, and that's the last thing the Wildcats can afford.
Can you imagine that rule if a bye did count?
Yeah.
My God. Gutierrez is looking. Gutierrez is rolling. He's going to launch it. And there's Camilo. And a nice play. Nice play. Ishmael Burris. Ishmael Burris is a junior. Great play. Great defensive play by that defensive back. Ran with Camilo. And that's not an easy task to do. Daniel Camilo, sprinter on the Wildcat track team. And what a play by Ishmael Burris. Good job, Burris. So with that said, it's a 2nd down and 10, 52 seconds remaining. Hey, they're going to keep going for it. I don't know if they're going to let their foot off the pedal. And here we go. I like this little conference here by Gene Martin telling, hey, man, you boys better settle down. There's going to be some business. You're not going to like it. So let's get back to playing ball. Wildcats again. Ball at the 31-yard line. We have a second down and 10, 52 seconds remaining. Wildcats still have all their timeouts remaining. So the Wildcats are looking to make something happen right now, even with 52 seconds remaining, 41-7. Young directing traffic. That is Coach Young directing traffic. Looks like somebody was lined up on the wrong side, so here come the Wildcats now. Changing formation, a major shift.
Yeah, Ron, one of the questions I had was if there is an ejection. We got Billy Brewer up here real quick. We'll talk about right
Here we
after.
go. The pass is to Camilo. Camilo's trying to find his way out, and we have more than one penalty flag is thrown. So something happened on that quick pass to Camilo. So now
It might have been a little holding or something. Ron, let me go to Billy.
Go
Billy,
ahead.
what is that rule? Let's, God forbid that somebody gets ejected. Now, let's just say it's a Brawley player getting ejected for fighting. What is the rule on that?
If they get thrown out and they get ejected, key word, they're not sent to the sidelines to be ejected, they're out of game.
Okay, now, if Brawley had a bye next week, which game would that affect them? Would it affect them
The Bell
week?
game.
It would affect them the Bell game. So in a game like this is one of those games, hey, listen, we don't need
These kids are going to be out at halftime for those very reasons right there.
Yeah, they'll be at half.
They're going to play all the way through this half, as you see, but they'll be out at that point.
And one of the good things I saw was Gene Martin call everybody in there, say, hey, guys, let's cut this out. There's no need for that. So that's one of those things you see from a veteran official like Gene Martin.
No, he did a very good job on that, and it needed to happen. It had been happening in the last 5-10 minutes, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
With some of this stuff.
So Gutierrez right now, he was going to pull that ball at the last second. Good decision by Gutierrez with 38 seconds. Gets the first down. So the Wildcats now find the ball at the 39-yard line. It's Temple, man. They want to go. There's 34 seconds remaining. One timeout remaining. And what are we going to have here?
I think it might have a lineman picking up his hand or something. We got Nate Meegans, the umpire.
It looked like might have been Platt, number 17. We're not going to say who it was, but 5 yards back for the Wildcats.
Hey, Ron, one of the things we're going to see Billy Brewer sprinting down there and having a chat with these Wildcats at halftime, I think.
As well it should be. Very good job.
Too old for that anymore, you guys.
There we go.
And you've been known to do it before, though.
I've done it a few times in my life, yes.
Gutierrez pulls the ball from Young, spins his way forward. Maybe a gain of 6 yards. And looks like the Wildcats are going to go in at halftime. No, they're not. They got one more play to go. What are they going to do?
Torrez.
They give this to Young. No, it's not. The pitch is to Camilo. Camilo and another flag. Might be a block in the back.
I think Coach Solano threw that one.
It looked like he might have pickpocketed the referee there, but it's thrown by the flank. Looks like it might be a hold on the Wildcats. So the Wildcats are going to go back, and maybe now,
with 5.8 seconds to go.
5.8 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Wildcats have a 41-7 lead.
What a beautiful night for football, right, Billy?
Oh, it's gorgeous. And can I let you guys know real quick, we will have more information coming out. We're waiting on Central Union High School, but we're hoping to have those Bell game tickets going on sale early next week. We want 2 weeks to be able to sell everything.
Ooh.
Okay, so when you say early next week, you talking about like a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
It'll fall between one of those 2 days.
I'll tell you what, you send me the information and we'll make sure we get it posted on our website.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, Billy, man. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
We'll see
Thanks,
later.
Ronnie.
So the Wildcats, at the end of the second quarter, we're going to end the first half with the Brawley Wildcats 41, Calexico Bulldogs 7.
So for Will Torres, Ron Rubio, go into halftime, and a word here from our sponsors.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy-saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Brawley. Offensively, they've done everything that they've wanted to. Isaiah Young has scored 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter, and Ethan Gutierrez has accounted for 4 TDs, including a 54-yard bomb to Mekhi Washington. Calexico, on the other hand, has had 2 strong runs from Ernesto Sanchez, who's totaled over 90 yards of total offense. Second half action, Calexico head coach Fernando Solano should just focus on preparing his kids for next week's matchup when they take on Imperial. Back to you.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600. 8600.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
To start the third quarter, visiting Calexico Bulldogs 7, your Brawley Wildcats 41, with the Wildcats running out to the field. Ron, let's talk a little bit about that first half, how it looks like the Brawley Wildcats have really done nothing wrong. I mean, that was all Calexico when they scored that touchdown, but they've done nothing wrong. A couple of penalties at the end of the first half, but besides that, they're a well-oiled machine there, them Wildcats.
Well, like I said in the beginning, speaking about the Bulldogs and how they wanted to start, you know, there's like that saying again, you want to start fast, accelerate in the middle, and finish strong. Well, right now the Wildcats are in the process of that. They started fast. They're accelerating in the middle. Now, in the middle of a game, Will, it's the last 3 minutes of the second quarter and the first 3 minutes of the second half. That's the meat of the middle of the game right there. It's how you come back after halftime, and that's the deal. You know, there's some times where you're a Wildcat right now, you're the Wildcat staff, you're the Wildcat football players. You don't want to have time.
Yeah,
you want to keep that thing going. You don't
Sure.
want these guys to go in at halftime and make adjustments, especially if the game is closer. You know, you want to keep going. The deal is this right now. How's this game unfolding? It's 41-7. You're down by 34 points. What do you do? If you're the Wildcats, you want to keep it going. You want to keep it going, and if you're going to put in your reserves, you want your reserves to play well, because you never know when an injury is going to come get you. And you don't want to say the word COVID, but that's been happening.
Yeah.
You know, those are the kind of two things that you want to work on. So on the other side of the coin, the Bulldogs, like I said, if they have any hope of raising in the D, what division are they? D5, Division 5? They're number 6. They have to put up some kind of points, because isn't point total part of the equation when their rankings go up?
You know who would know that would be Jalen Fong, because that whole deal, it really confuses me sometimes. But we'll get those rankings out and stuff like that. And while we're talking about divisions, you know, come playoff time, you make a very good point, because you know it is if they're not going to be in the championship in the league, but they still have a lot to look forward to in the CIF. And while we have a minute, let me talk about tomorrow night's game. First of all, I'd like to talk about the Hopeville Vikings. Hopeville Vikings are 5-2. They're 0-1 in league, and they lost a tough game against Palo Verde, which was, you know, Palo Verde is for real. I mean, they lost 40-7 or something like that.
And going over to Palo Verde, not to interrupt you, that's always the trip over there. It's you know, you talked about the Bermuda Triangle at Cal Jones Field. That drive has done a lot to a lot of teams in the last 50 years that I know of.
Yeah, that's just a depressing drive, what it is. But the Hopeville Vikings host the Vincent Memorial Scots, and the Scots are 5-2. We had the Scots last Saturday, and they look
pretty good.
They look pretty good. They ended up playing the Calexico Hornets, so they're 2-0 in league. It's a big game in the Desert Valley League. Vincent is in Division 4 and look forward to moving up in the rankings. Like I said, they beat Calapat last week by passing 75% of the time. The Vikings tried to stop Palo Verde, but couldn't keep that explosive attack. And like I said, that score was 40-8. Palo Verde has a very strong running attack. And that game, of course, will be broadcast by John Moreno and Vic Carrillo on VSN. So look for that game. Our other VSN game will be Ron Rubio and myself, Will Torrez. We will be at the Central Spartan Cal Jones Fields, where the Imperial Tiger Coach David Shaw takes on the Central Spartans for a key matchup. That's going to be a key matchup in the Imperial Valley League. So we look forward for that tomorrow as we get ready for the Calexico kickoff.
The kick is up, and Daniel Camilo, first touch of the ball game for Daniel, I bet. Camilo looks like he's going to bust this one if they can't catch him. The only man to save him is the kicker. That was number 69, and he's brought down. Hey, number 69 did his job with the kickoff. That's Gal Monzon. Monzon was able to slow down Camilo, but not until he gets to the 35-yard line of the Bulldogs.
Well,
and here I go. I hate to keep sounding repetitive, but the pedals to the metal, you keep rolling and rolling and rolling. That's football for you, man. Brawley Wildcats at the 35-yard line.
And what I think is that Coach Self might want that touchdown back that they scored up on.
You know what? You know, football's a sport where if you're on your head, you have the big lead. There's no way you can let up. There just isn't. You could get hurt if you play soft.
That's
so the
true.
Wildcats are going. Gutierrez is looking. He's going to shoot over to Young. Young circling out of the backfield. That's a circle route. Wide open again. Second time they completed that route. Good enough for a first down for the Wildcats at the 25 now. So they're going to keep rolling.
Yeah, and the Wildcats playing like the score's tied up, to be honest with you. Yeah, I agree with that, Ron. You start playing slow and soft, that's when the injuries come in. I truly do believe in that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let up. I mean, you can't slow down. Young trying the middle. Young's going to be met by, that's number 52 for the Bulldogs, number 52 for the Bulldogs. That was Diego Gurola. Now, I know John Moreno and Vic Carrillo can pronounce that a whole lot better than me, but that's Diego Gurola on that play. And let's say, if you're on the other side of this score, you have to fight, man. You have to fight. You have to show some character, and I'm pretty sure that the Bulldogs will do so. 2nd down and 9. They give us to Young up the middle. Young is looking for a couple of yards, gets maybe 4 on the carry. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Wildcats.
And once again, Ron, you make a good point because, look, Coach is going to look at this film, and he's going to look at the players. Let's say he starts to substitute players and some of these younger players. I'm not saying they're being substituted right now, but he's going to take a look, and that's his best time. Like, who didn't give up? Who played every darn down.
Right, sure.
I meant to say down, but
correct.
Whatever. And that's what the coach is going to look at every, that guy that went all out every play.
Sure. The pull by Gutierrez. Gutierrez is going to be called down, and not until he gets a 1st down. So the flags again on the field. Didn't see what happened there. Gutierrez had enough for a 1st down. The ball is spotted at the 10-yard line. Don't know who the flag was on. It looks like it might be against the Wildcats. Not going to speculate. Wait till the officials sort things out. But a couple of flags were thrown.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it might be a dead ball foul.
Dead ball fouls for sure.
And I don't know if it's going to go against the Calexico Bulldogs on the late hit. Yeah, it's going to go against the Bulldogs right there.
So half the distance to the goal line, correct?
Half the distance to the goal line from right there, and it's going to go. It's going to put the ball. That was on the 15, so about the 7-yard line, Ron, 7.5-yard line.
That'll work.
I think they're not going to need the sticks. It'll just be the down marker right there. And, with Ethan Gutierrez still in at quarterback, depending what happens on this drive, we might start to see some, John Self substituting some of the players.
41-7, 9:57 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We just started the 2nd half with a good return by Daniel Camilo. So that's been the story the whole night. The Wildcats had the field position in the 1st half. They started the 2nd half with the field position, and that's the goal in football, is to have the better field position, common sense. Clock running now. Here we go, 9:54 remaining. And a fake to Carranza. Gutierrez pulls. Gutierrez try to cut back, pulls the ball. He's going to land at the 1. Hopefully he's okay. Runs into Mackay Washington. But the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal. Let's say make it a 2. I'm looking at the flank down here. 2nd down and goal from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and the good thing I like seeing about Ethan Gutierrez, not only he has a knack to the way he gets tackled. You know what I mean?
Sure, I like that. Good point.
Because, and you see it, Ron, you see it. When somebody mentions that, explain that to the people what I mean by that.
Well, the thing is, you're going to be brought down. You're going to try to get as much yards as you can, but no sense in taking a big hit. So basically what you're taught is tackle yourself, meaning you're going to give the defender less body to hit.
Yeah.
So here we go. Fake the pitch to Camilo, and they try to run a counter or a trap to Young. Nothing doing there. Maybe a loss of 1 all the way back to, let's say, the 3-yard line. So the Wildcats lose a yard on that. We're going to make 3rd and goal from the 3.
And it's just good to see number 22, Adam Sosueta, in there still giving all out as he gets in there and he makes the tackle there against the Wildcats for about a 3 to 4 yard loss on that. No, not that much, is it, Ron? It's maybe a 2-yard loss. But it's just good to see him not giving up. He's one of those star players out there.
And, he's a leader out there along with so Young. No, the pull by Gutierrez. And so that's the thing. That's the play you talked about. Well, they know they're going to do it. You have to stop it at any point in the ball game. It's a staple of Brawley's offense. You have to stop that.
And he's so good at it.
Very good.
Yeah.
He could do it. He probably could run that play blindfolded.
Yeah, he's just and that, we don't ever get the chance. You get, it used to be back in the day, Ron, where you were a 2-year starter, and that was the big thing, Ron. Now you're looking at Gutierrez is going to be a 4-year starter, not the 100% 4 years, but as the kick is up and it's good, making the score 48-7 with 8:20 left. But to get back to that point, you have somebody in Gutierrez that right now is playing like a senior should be playing, Ron.
as we talked about last season, the spring season, it's a shame, but Wildcats got 6 games in. That was his, sophomore year?
Yeah.
So now, on track to have a complete 10-game season. And guess what? There's playoffs. There's the next season. And like you said, he's playing like a seasoned player. We saw him when he debuted out at Gila Ridge.
Yeah.
That's when they put him in.
But not only that.
And then, from that point on, you could tell the kid has it. And that's, when you're a coaching staff, you're John Self, you're Brandon Young, you have a kid with the talent, the gift that Gutierrez has, you have to utilize it. And they're trying to do the best they can. Brawley, as we know, is known as running back high, basically, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So, that's the story. That's the motto they have here in Brawley. However, you get a kid with the arm, you try to utilize it, and this is what happens. So have a ways to go to get better. And here's number 19. That is Andrew Rivera. Rivera with a good return again. He had a good return last time, up to the 28-yard line, kicking it deep. Unlike Brawley likes to kick that pooch kick. Second time they kicked it deep. Rivera was the only touchdown the Bulldogs had tonight. Takes it out to the 23-yard line.
And while I have a break right now, I'd like to say a big thanks to some of our sponsors. That's Heart Insurance. Make sure and give Liz and her staff a call. Located in Brawley and El Centro. You can call her at the Brawley location at 760-344-1400. And stop by and get your game shirts for that Bell game in 2 weeks at Graphic Industries Incorporated. Stop by Frank's, located on East Street. He's been there for a lot of years. Always good to see him.
I've got to visit Frank. I have something to pick up there. And a fumble. The ball was trying to give to Sanchez, fumbled by Isquier. And so the Wildcats take over. So this has been the Bulldogs' mode of operation tonight, is that they're, turnovers is something like we said. They got off to a bad start, and halfway through the third quarter, again, the turnover bug haunts them again. So it looks like the Wildcats may start. It looks like Dawson Figueroa, number 22, will take over at quarterback.
And I do have a message from our sideline reporter, Jalen Fong. Ethan Gutierrez seems to have a slight cut on his thumb. That's what we're hearing right now. But
well, they're down there working on Dr. Fareed. You can see that.
Ain't nothing Dr. Fareed can't fix, man. And Ron,
that was Matthew Moreno, handout by Dawson Figueroa to Moreno. Looks like the Bulldogs are waiting for it. And looks like the Wildcats are going to lose 2 yards. Now, this is something that I picked up on. I don't know what ball game it was, but the second team of the Wildcats, when you have your reserves in, you want to see somebody step up. You want to see, okay, here's your chance. Show us something. Even though you're going against the opponent's first team, you've got to show that you can step up when called upon to produce for the team. So the Wildcats now are going to be in a basic wing set. The give is to Moreno. That's Matthew Moreno. Moreno finds a hole. Moreno, good play all the way up to the 20-yard line. So it's going to be a second down. And let's say at the 21-yard line. No, the 20-yard line. Second down and maybe 2 yards to go for the Wildcats.
And that's not to say, I know it was probably expected after that first drive, you were probably going to see the Wildcats reserve come in there anyways, right?
Sure. So with 5:38 remaining, the Wildcats have a 48-7 lead. Figueroa is under center. The give is to Moreno up the middle. And he's going to be met by a host. That's Marin, number 10. That's number 52. That's Diego Gurola on the play, along with number 18, Carlos Hernandez. Figueroa comes to coach all the way to the sideline to run a play. We have a 4th down and 1. 4th and 1 from the 19-yard line.
And it's curious. I mean, to me, I get a little kick out of it, Ron, to see the old school way of communication running in the plays where the quarterback, we used to have that. I mean, when I had the Pop Warner teams, but Coach Self has that where the quarterback runs all the way down, and which is kind of
I think it's a conditioning drill. So here we go. And looks like they give us to Moreno. He tries the right side of the line, the offensive line, and they got a little bit of push, and they have a first down. So that's a positive note. Wildcats with the first down, a handful of reserves in there. On the offensive line, we have Aiden Herrera. That's 57. You have number 79, David Martinez. David Martinez, big boy out there, 70. Jake Rivas. Jake Rivas, good to see Jake out there.
Now, is that Rivas any relation to the Rivas that we happen to go
I'm
to
not
school
sure if he's Steve Rivas' brother, but boy, man, Steve Rivas was a spark plug. They give this to Moreno. Moreno is going to fall forward on his own. Gets a couple of maybe 2-3 yards on the place. Second down and 7 for the Wildcats. 4:04 and ticking.
Now, of course, that's Matt Moreno, which is a history of the Morenos playing football here at the Brawley Wildcat Field, right, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Now, he did have an Oski, and he's
Yeah, nice defensive play. Got to his drop correctly. He's going to get credit for that. Dropped to where he should have been. Overthrown pass. Guess what? Made him pay for that. So here we go. Wildcats have a second down and 8. In the backfield is number 21, Charlie Lai Jr. In motion is Noah Gonzalez, number 3. Noah Gonzalez.
Good to see Noah Gonzalez go right up the middle in between the two tackles there, Ron.
So we have now a third down and 5 for the Wildcats. The ball is at the 12-yard line. 3:18 and ticking. Now, Will, quarter's going to end in 3 minutes. What happens after that with this deficit, 41-point deficit?
Okay, so the rule is after the third quarter, if the score is 35 points or more, it automatically goes into a running clock, which obviously we have.
Automatically, no, the coach can't say, you know what, I want some more playing time. I want the opposing coach.
No, it's predetermined rule that it'll happen. Now, it can't happen, prior to that, but
Right.
It has to be in agreement with both coaches.
Good play by Diego Garola. Garola not giving up, playing the best ball he can right now. And that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. Your Coach Solano now. Coach Solano, and I'm going to tell you something about Fernando, man. Good guy, down-to-earth guy. Met him for the first time tonight. All you have to know about Solano is watch him coach. Listen to him. I stood back there as he was going through offensive line drills.
He looks like a football player, right?
And you know what? The deal is he was an offensive lineman at Cibola High. Here goes Noah Gonzalez with the pitch out to the left. Nothing doing. He's going to lose 6 yards. So the Wildcats are going to give up turnover on downs. So the Bulldogs hold. 2:03 remaining. And, Will, let me ask you a question. Why is the clock running after possession?
So after you told me that, it might have been predetermined to run the clock after that score. So like I said, it has to be predetermined by both coaches.
It doesn't have to wait to the fourth quarter.
If both coaches agree,
you know what? Let's run it.
They will run it. So they decided to keep running it. And, I'm looking at Calexico's uniform. Don't you like that all white like that?
I like Calexico.
I like it.
The first time I heard of the color garnet, it's garnet, right?
It's garnet.
Garnet.
John Moreno actually lives on Garnet. That's how much of a bulldog
Wow,
he is.
I bet you he did that intentionally. He bought a house. Way to go, John. And there is, again, carrying the ball, Andrew Rivera. Rivera has a future, man. He's only a sophomore, has a motor. He can run. Right now, he's weighing about 155 pounds. I bet you by his senior year, he's probably 175. So now the Wildcats on defense, bunch of substitute. Cáceres comes out. Charlie Lai stays in at nose. You have Torrez at the defensive back. You have Tweety Corrales out there. Number 2 looks like J.D. Arianes is out there. So just giving a little bit of name calling out there for these boys who don't see too much time, but now they're in there. Daniel Camilo still in there. Brody Van Diver. Brody Van Diver is doing pretty good. Playing some good football at the J. Here comes Sanchez. Sanchez with the cutback. Sanchez, 40, 50. Cuts back, spins. All the way to 35-yard line of the Wildcats. Good hustle by the Wildcats. Hey, I like how number 79, big man, 79, David Martinez hustled all the way down there. Good job, David. Sanchez with another break. Hey, Sanchez has put 2 big runs together. Could he be near 100 yards? At least over 50.
Well, and that's one thing Coach Solano wants to see. He wants to see some positive plays, some positive people make these type of plays, especially against a quality team, as we end the third quarter right here. So with that said, get ready to start the fourth quarter. VSN will be right back after a couple of messages from our sponsors.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us on VSN Network. You can catch up all your scores tomorrow at valleysportsnet.com. Make sure you go to our site, visit our website, see what we got going on right there. And like I said, it has all the scores. And back to the play-by-play is Ron Rubio.
So after that big run by Sanchez, they give the ball out to Andres Castro. Castro tried to bounce it off to the right. Nothing doing. He's going to lose a good amount of yards, 10 yards, make it a second down and 20.
You know, Ron, one of the things I'm noticing right now, we've seen these Wildcats. I mean, everything that they were doing, they were passing the ball good. They were rushing. The rush was there. They were getting positive yards on both sides. Even the special teams were good. You know, I think we're going to have to give credit to that offensive line of the Wildcats that in those first two quarters because, it really starts right there,
Sure
Ron.
does. Sure does. And, Brian Porras, number 52, center, makes all the play calls up on the line, odd, even, and a fumble again. And it's kicked around, and it's going to be recovered by number 67 of the Bulldogs.
And
Isaac Santiago. Isaac Santiago's a guard, senior. Like I said, back to the offensive line. You don't get 48 points all by yourself. You're a back, quarterback, receiver, running back. You depend on that offensive line. And, tonight, without actually seeing the film, you had a good center snap all night long. There was not one bad snap that I know of. And, Porras is the heart of that offensive line, I would have to say at this point.
I think he's the heart, like you said, he's that heart of that old line right there.
He's been there, he's been, like I said, he's part of that core group that has Brawley brought up in the youth football, junior now, and he's a hardworking young man and good kid. I mean, what are you leading to?
Well, I'm leading to, man, I'm asking you, Ron, is I know, look, sometimes I think I know the way you being a skill position player that you were.
Could you give it to the whole offensive line of the Brawley offense? How's that?
I think it'd be great to give it to
the crew. Give it to the Brawley off the kids that never get all the credit. We don't say their names all the time. Why? Because you can't see what they're doing up here. They're making the blocks. Their back is turned. They're getting knocked to the ground. They're putting people on the ground. They're driving people. The backs get all the credit. They get all the glory. These kids work their butts off Monday through Thursday, and come Friday, they just, it's sometimes I wish I could see, hey, man, that guy just made a great block. We're not looking at that. We don't have that many eyes up here. But it's great to see an offensive line, everybody has a good offensive line. So Wildcats now defending. Sasueta throw. Sasueta intended for. That's number 6. That is Pedro Cruz. Cruz, like I said, last week versus Southwest had a pick 6. Incomplete pass. Great throw by Sasueta. He has a good arm.
And he's not scared to throw it downfield either.
Crank it up. He did that, remember, right before the half ended. Threw it both sides of the ball, intended for number 3. That would be Andres Ramirez. So we have a 4th down. They're going to get in punt formation. And here comes number 80. That's Pacheco. Let's go, Jonathan Pacheco. Pacheco standing at his 37-yard line. They have, that is Noah Gonzalez scooting up for the return. He's standing at this 36-yard line. I like to see Noah get a return on. Here's the kick. It's going to be this Bora's going to field it, and he touched it. Recovered by the Bulldogs. So like I said, did the Wildcats recover, or are they going to give it to did he touch it? I don't see anywhere they're going to. From up here, it looked like the ball hit him, but at this angle, maybe he didn't. It didn't.
I actually didn't see that play, so I will not comment. I will let the referees huddle like they do, and then Gene Martin will decide what's he going to call.
It's going to be Bulldog ball.
He goes, boys, what are you guys discussing? That's Bulldog ball. Let's get this show on the road.
And that's the tiny little things. You want to get detailed? You want to get nitpicky? Hey, Torrez, get away from that ball. Let's get away. Smart football. So the Wildcats now give up the ball. Calexico at the Wildcat 27-yard line. Sassueta at quarterback. Sanchez still in. Sassueta low snap. He fields it. He looks. He throws. Intended for. A little bit overthrown. Intended for number 3, Andres Ramirez. Ramirez and Cruz. Cruz is a senior. You have Rivera, Ramirez. Those are the kids that are going to come back. Isquier, David is a junior. So, you know, all these kids that are underclassmen, but not seniors, coming back next year. Coach Solano is getting traction, man. He's going to have these kids back next year. They've had some success. Yeah, they're taking their lumps from the big giants, Brawley, Central, but they're beating teams as well, Will. They beat Castle Park.
And they beat Southwest.
They beat Southwest. So here we go. Sassueta, slow snap, picks it up, weaves his way forward, maybe gains 4 yards on the play. Let's say 5. Second down and 5 for make that third down and 5. Third down and 5, 7:08 remaining in the fourth quarter. Wildcats.
And those are the dues that Coach Solano has to pay. Hey,
yeah,
look,
there you go.
Everybody's
well
been
put,
there.
Well put. You know, we discussed how rebuilding a program is. He told me the obstacles he's been having and the ones that he's cleared. And I'm going to tell you, like I told you, know what, Coach, keep your head up. Why? What that JV team showed me last night, there's promise, man. There's a lot of promise on there. Third down and 5 for the Bulldogs. It's 6:36 remaining in the fourth quarter. As we said, it's a running clock. Isquier's back in there. That's number 1. Sanchez is the lone back. Isquier looking.
That's a live ball. If it's a ball, it's a live ball.
It's a live ball. No, it's not.
Oh, Mr. Ooh.
Well, we're from up here. Will said it's a live ball.
No.
Incomplete pass. I'm not kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, the best view is those guys
it's right
in the
down the
stripe.
field because we're looking at the angle. We don't know where it's at.
Look, I'm saying as a player, I'm not letting that, bounce around. I'm picking it up.
For sure. For the smartest thing to do, just grab it in case it's a backwards pass. That's a live ball.
Yeah, but as those guys in the stripes are the ones
they
that
know what's going on,
yeah.
man. They have the eyes. So 5:49 remaining in the fourth quarter. We have now fourth and 5 for the Bulldogs. Ball's at the 23-yard line of the Wildcats. He's scared. Good snap. He's looking. Screenplay set up. Incomplete. Little overthrown. Intended for number 3. And that's the execution that Coach Solano wants to see. Hey, you know what? Complete that pass, man. We need that. Yeah. It's a screen. You have to complete it. Turnover on downs. Wildcat ball. 5:14 remaining.
And Ron, if that pass would have been completed, the possibility of getting the first down would have been very good.
Maybe more because it was set up. And you know, that's a play that they ran well versus Central, and they also ran a few times against Southwest. And execution is the thing you're looking for, no matter what you're playing. The backups of the Wildcats, hey, execute that play. Let's get things going.
Well, I can probably guarantee you one thing: with 4:40 to go in the fourth quarter, the clock running. Everybody on that Wildcat sideline just pretty happy.
Fumble.
Boom.
And picked up by Marin. I don't know who forced that fumble, but Marin picked it up. Bulldog ball.
Hey, got to give credit to them Bulldogs.
Later,
And
Rick.
we keep saying that. That's what Coach wants to see. That's what Coach Solano
Yeah,
wants to see.
keep going, keep
Yeah.
keep fighting. 4:20 remaining.
So the future is bright, is what you're trying to
It's
say.
getting brighter. It's getting brighter.
There you go. I think
it's getting brighter. They just stay on course, man. Stay on course.
And then with Coach Solano being on campus, teaching down there, of course, I do believe he still lives in Yuma. But look, he's closer to the kids. He gets them in that weight program, and that's one of the things that really helps out a program, especially a program that's starting to build it, But to be honest with you, it seems like they're always building. I hope that Coach Solano is here for a while. It looks like he wants to be, and he looks like he will be.
So Sasueta with the fake give, trying to run option, gets tackled for a loss of maybe 5 yards. Yeah, as you said, and that's the whole deal about rebuilding. It's not the overused term. Rome was not built in a day. You need brick by brick, and that's part of rebuilding your team. It's easy if you have talent. It's easy if you have the numbers. Right now, they're looking to get talent. I mean, they're looking to build talent and to get the kids involved. The youth football program in Calexico, incomplete pass, that was intended for number 19, Rivera.
That's one of the questions that I was going to ask you, Ron. What did Coach Solano say about the youth program they have down there?
Well, I'm not sure they have a program right now. I didn't get into the details of it, but like you said, Ronnie, I had trouble last year even getting a meeting, having enough kids attend from the junior high. But now with the success going on, I bet you the next time he tries to run a meeting, he's going to have some players in there, man.
Yeah, because, look, with the –
there was a point in Calexico history where they had 3 freshman teams.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right,
So where did that go? They have to find – if it was there once, it could be there again.
No. You are absolutely right. They had a Willie Moreno.
They had De Anza, I believe, and there was another one, and Calexico. So it was those 2 schools you mentioned plus the high school.
Yeah.
And, John and Vic can verify that.
So it was Willie Moreno, De
Anza, and then the Bulldogs themselves.
No, because the Bulldogs are.
Well, I'm not too sure how that worked.
They're 10th.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah. So there was 3 junior highs: the Willie Moreno, De Anza, and I'm going.
I don't know, but I really thought.
But there was 3 Bulldog teams at one time.
The pitch to Rivera. Rivera's trying to look for it, and he's going to be brought down by Dawson Figueroa and Moreno on the play. So 1:36 remaining, maybe time enough for 1 or 2 plays. Clock is winding up. And so the tale of the story tonight, Wildcats started fast. They accelerated in the middle, and they finished strong. On the other hand, the Bulldogs had a tough going at the start and couldn't get things going tonight. And let's hope that with what they learned tonight against Imperial, it's a different story. And they have to. I mean, they're going to have to turn it around. They're going to be 1-2 in league. When you're in a five-team league, 1 loss is a lot. 2 losses is like lethal, man. If you're trying for a league championship.
Yeah, you can be in a different position, because you're going to be in a different division.
Yeah.
But when you have teams like, El Centro can't afford to have any losses. Brawley can't afford it, neither.
No.
And Imperial has 1 loss, and they can make it up by beating the Spartans. And then guess what? Then they got to cheer for.
That's somebody to lose.
For the
if they knock off Central, then they're going to have to cheer for Central to knock off Brawley.
So
make it a 3-way tie.
So before we go off the air right now, I think the Wildcats are where they want to be. This is, if you were to script the game plan, this is what it would have looked like right now. So our player of the games, our athlete of the games are going to go to number 74, Anthony Arriaga. Number 71, Jonathan Garcia.
Yes.
Number 52, Brian Porras.
Yep.
Number 77,
Evangelist Pittman.
I
love that
name.
name.
Yeah. Number 67, Bernie Bustamante. Ron, let's let the people know why we gave the athletes game of the week to them.
It was hard to single out one player, but you know what? You don't get 48 points on the board without an offensive line. And these are the kids that, like I said, they put the work in. Julius Diaz, number 55, is one of the kids that does it. And you can ask Ethan Gutierrez, you can ask Isaiah Young, you can ask Chandler Carranza, why did you gain so many yards? My offensive line helped me get there. They opened up a hole for me. They do it Monday through Thursday. And tonight was what a great night to honor him, Will, and thank you very much for doing that to the Brawley Wildcats.
And it's not only that, Ron, they're not always in the limelight either.
No, they're not in the limelight, man. It's, not every kid raises their hand. Who wants to be center?
Yeah, I know. and I hope Jalen Fong is going to try to get these offensive linemen together. I'm proud of these boys, and if we're seeing if
he's going to get some of them on there. Cut it. He cuts it, so it's not going to happen.
So we're going to see if we can. And look, I can't believe it, but John Self, Coach John Self is going to allow it. Now, I got to give credit to John Self. He's actually going to allow it. So thank you, Coach. We really appreciate that.
So like we said, Julius Diaz, Tony Arriaga, Jonathan Garcia, Brian Torrez, and Evangelist Pitt. Congratulations, boys. Well-deserved. And I hope this is the first. I mean, the whole offensive line, I've seen it done before. Give them credit, man. They work as a unit. It's not 5 guys. It's one unit built to 5 guys.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Like that. I love it.
So when they're ready up here, we'll go to a break, and then we're going to go downstairs to Jalen Fong. So with that said, we'll be right back with Jalen Fong.
Can you hear me? Jalen Fong reporting live for VSN. I'm here live with tonight's athletes of the game, the entire Brawley offensive line, consisting of Anthony Aranga, Jonathan Garcia, Brian Porras, Levangelis Pittman, and Julius Diaz. Brian, I'm going to start with you being the center. Talk about the continuity of this offensive line as a whole, and, what brings you guys success, running the ball.
Well, Brawley's always had a good offensive line. We just work hard. We have it on hard workers, overachievers. When we practice, we practice hard. We try to perfect everything, and we just try to beat everybody each week.
Julius, I'm going to go back to you now. Now, with this win tonight, you guys have now racked up 7 in a row. How is the continuity, and how have you guys progressed as a team as the season's gone along from your first 2 losses early in the year?
Just communication with the whole line. We've been communicating about blitzes, anything we pick up. We've been working on pretty much everything, just communication and hard work.
All right, now you guys have 2 weeks now until the big bell game up in El Centro. I'm going to talk to you, number 71. What's the biggest motivating factor for you guys as you prepare? You guys have 2 weeks before you head up to Cal Jones Field and try to reclaim the bell.
We've all spent all our lives watching from the stands. I think we all looked forward to this point when we were getting up here for varsity. I know I waited a long time with Corona and everything, and this is just a game that everyone's been waiting their whole lives for, and we've been prepping ever since we started the season, even before that.
Well, thank you all you guys. I appreciate it for you guys taking the time to talk with us, and good luck in 2 weeks in El Centro. Will, back to you.
So, Will Torres, Ron Rubio here. Ron, final thoughts on the game?
Well, it's just as we expected. I mean, the Wildcats came out and did what they were supposed to do. They came out fast and stayed strong to the very end. And the Bulldogs, trying to pull off the upset, did not have the night that they wanted to. They did not execute well. But like we said, hey, football's a week-to-week business. Let's see what they could do next week, Will.
Yeah, so don't forget to watch us. Tomorrow we will be at Central with the Imperial Tigers visit the Central Spartans, and then John Moreno, Vic Carrillo will be in Hopeville, where the Vincent Memorial will go to Hopeville. So from Will Torres, Ron Rubio, Joaquin Matus, Sarah Torres, our new employee,
JJ
JJ
Galvan,
Eric Swain and family. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.